The most common is pap or lipalishi, where it's cooked to like a polenta type consistency. And they will eat this with almost every single meal. The other forms of it is emaheo, which is a drink, and this is slightly fermented. They'll drink this as a snack throughout the day. And then there's a breakfast version of the emaheo called intoantwa, and don't be scared of the clicks. The intoantwa is breakfast, and it's also fermented for a few days. So they eat that commonly. And then vegetables they eat are beets, a lot of lettuce and cabbage. So.
Swazi food. I love Swazi food a lot, and most of the volunteers do. Like, we crave it. And we go to, they're called takeaway places, and we get, you know, traditional Swazi food, and it's pretty cheap, and you get like a big plate. It's like kind of like comfort food, actually. Okay, so the staple ingredient is corn, and that's a good thing because I am allergic to wheat and gluten, and so it's actually very easy for me to, you know, not get sick here. And so the staple ingredient is corn. You're going to see a lot of porridge, and it takes a little getting used to, but we end up loving it.
I like to cook a variety of different things. I like to make a lot of sauces, particularly for pastas, although I also put it on bread if I'm lazy, toast up some bread. I enjoy somewhat ethnic food. I say that because the availability of ingredients isn't always there. So I just kind of play it off as fusion. But I do enjoy cooking, and it's something you can definitely do. But it's also something that you have to experiment with here, because ingredients may be a little bit different or under a different name. But it's something that is a really big part of my life at site.
Okay, on a regular basis, I cook very similarly to how I did in America. You can get pretty much everything that you can buy in America somewhere in Swaziland, particularly in the capital city. I mean, I can get things as specific as like gluten-free soy sauce, and you can get American brands of peanut butter. But, you know, generally for price sake and just because it's interesting, because you can do it, you can cook kind of traditional recipes. They're pretty easy to learn, and they're more abundant. So probably going to cook a lot of beans, rice, kind of Peace Corps staples.
A lot of volunteers, they don't have a refrigerator. So it's kind of hard to plan your meals for the week. So I kind of have a regiment down of what I have like every single day of the week, just because I buy a lot of canned meats and I buy a lot of vegetables that don't necessarily last very long. But I usually eat curries, soups, you know, canned sardines, and I try to spice it up and flavor it as much as I can.
Fresh fruits and veggies are pretty common. They're sold by the women primarily, Bomage and Bogogo, mostly at bus stops and around cities. But Lewis and I have created a garden, and that has been a huge asset to us with availability of vegetables, because not having a fridge and having to transport everything on your back to your homestead is sometimes tricky, so having it in your backyard is wonderful.
As far as the availability of food goes, pretty much everything that I want I can get as far as cooking goes. The only real exceptions, I think, are more snack foods, you know, pretty American specific things. But as far as cooking goes, everything I need, I should say the majority of things I need, I can find easily around the vicinity of my community. However, going to Baban or Manzini is sometimes necessary for certain imported
probably going to miss from home, or at least I do. Sushi, I think about that almost on a daily basis. Also Mexican food. But you can cook pretty similarly to both of those things. You know, once in a while you can do it. And pizza. But I'm very particular about my pizza, so.
Foods that I miss while here in Swaziland. Certain ethnic foods. You know, people talk about Mexican food, the lack of Mexican food. That's felt for me. I'm a lot of snack foods. I like snacking. Beef jerky is like my thing, and you can't really find that besides biltong, which is different.